I just hit the go live just in case we had
I don't know
any
what the
problems.
heck, whether it was Restream, but it kept banging out and saying that I can't get you in the room. Like
Yeah,
I was connected on the everything else was fine except like, yeah, you're not in the room. We can't put you in the room. I'm like, well, go
that
take
was
a shit.
it was doing all sorts to me because I'm like, shit, how am I going to get live later on, like an hour ago, and it came up with it actually came up at the top of Restream talking about the AWS outage and whatever else was going
Oh,
on.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. Wasn't that a bizarre thing? It was like the world was ending or something, right? Because AWS was down and all kinds of websites were down and shit was not working. I went online to be sure, like, well, is my site still working? Is the newsguy.com still up? Better be.
it's clearly a lot of people use AWS. That's the what I've taken from this.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's obviously been a lot of things down today, Snapchat and God knows what else. But
Well, evidently Facebook was a little screwy as well. Some of the stuff they do. So
the joys. But anyway, guys, we are here today to talk about email marketing strategy and everything else in between. We are sponsored by the News Guy. The logo is above the News Guy's head, and the logo is below. If you're wanting to take a look at us, which is PR services and getting your name put out there, both for link equity, LLM feeding, and brand awareness. Is there any other benefits to this? Link equity, brand awareness, LLM feeding, mm,
uh yeah,
ego,
that
feeding your
ego,
own ego.
sure.
Yeah.
Vanity. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that is who the news guy is. Got to give him his shout out, and I'm just that's people starting to join now.
All
Uh,
right.
so yeah,
Hopefully people aren't having the same issue we were. I don't know.
nah, I checked on YouTube there. It appears to be
Is that
live
working?
and stuff. So yeah,
I
I was just like,
checked
this
that
thing,
YouTube.
even if we're sat in the room, the thing might not push out to all of the places. So
There it is.
so we appear to be live, guys. But if you're there, let us know where you're from and all of that stuff. It's always nice to see people in the chat. But
Absolutely. Come in, come all of it.
anyway, I've got a question before we talk about email marketing.
All right. Bring it.
What is this Dodgers shit tonight? Like, what is the game? Like, everyone's talking about this, and I still don't understand. Like, is this a cup final? What is this?
So here in the States, it's baseball, right? So it's the end of baseball, and they're in the various different um, brackets leading up to the World Series. So the Dodgers are in the National League, and they have won the National League championship now. They beat the Brewers last week. And then I think tonight is Toronto Blue Jays and Seattle Mariners. I think this is like I think tonight is game 6 of, or game 6 or game 7. Tonight is game 7 of the 7-game series. So whoever wins tonight moves on to the World Series
Right.
between, so Toronto Blue Jays, Seattle Mariners, whoever wins that tonight is going to go play the Dodgers.
Nice. Just I keep seeing everyone talking about it, and I'm like, I've still no fucking clue, and I don't know who
Yeah.
I'm supporting. But I'll go with the Dodgers. Everyone
Yeah,
else,
the Dodgers. I love the Dodgers. Well, I'm a big Cubs fan, so I was always cheering for the Cubs, but they got beat out by the Brewers, who the Dodgers just beat. So I'm like, well, you know, I'll still go view, but yeah,
ah,
I'm good. It's yeah. So it's all good. But that's what's going on in baseball, in the world of baseball. That's what the Dodgers are.
And let's hope.
I probably do the same thing when you start going on and you're talking about, World Cup or whatever you
Yeah.
guys watch over there. I'm like, I don't know what the hell, what is it you guys are doing? But
It's a different sports, and like I say, I have no clue about baseball or anything.
yeah,
So yeah, and I hate it. I'm just like, someone tell me who I should be supporting and why. But
yeah, go Dodgers.
uh,
Nerdy's from, well, I don't know if Nerdy is in Los Angeles area. Do you know?
I know he's in the West Coast. I couldn't tell you
I
the.
know he's West Coast. I know he's California, but I don't know exactly where he is. But yeah.
I wouldn't imagine where he said he is where he really is anyway.
Yeah,
He's
probably.
that type of guy, isn't he? He'll be up in the mountains somewhere hiding.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nerdy, if you're
Yeah.
watching.
I
But
think he is down in yeah. Well, anyway. All right, baby.
email marketing, Randy. A
Yeah.
nice topic.
Well, I know you do. I do some email marketing. I probably don't do it like I don't know. I don't do a lot. Like I don't do any cold email marketing at all. And the reason why I even came up is because I saw in our group chat somebody mentioned like, hey, Google was crashing down on cold email marketing. I'm like, oh, well, it doesn't impact me because I don't do that at all. But then I thought, oh, we haven't talked about email marketing for a long time. But
yeah. No, I think in groups, people ask you these questions, which is fine to ask. There's obviously a market for cold email marketing and stuff. But in my opinion, it's not something I'm a huge fan of either. Like going and scraping up people's emails and being blasted with shit that you never asked for is frustrating. I feel it myself, when I get bombarded. It's not even emails now. I'm getting fucking phoned on the mobile
oh,
phone
yeah,
on a
yeah.
daily basis. I'm scared to
And
answer the phone
text.
now.
I get a ton of texts.
Yeah.
I'm shocked at how much in texts I get every day.
So, things have changed and it pisses me off because the minute you do that to me is block, 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 block.
Yep. Yep.
Now, I, in my own head, think the same of email marketing. And obviously, you mentioned there, someone said that Google are clamping down on it. They're, burning, or clamping down on accounts that are, doing this stuff. And, obviously, you can go out there and you can rent space on a G Suite account and spam the shit out of people and all of these kind of things. And there's tools and proxies and
Right.
all of the usual stuff. But it's becoming a menace. And I don't really consider that to be email marketing. When someone asks for that, you're basically saying to me, I want to fucking cheat and I don't want to put any effort in and I want to spam every motherfucker out there. And I am 20 years late to the fucking party and I don't have a clue what I'm doing. That's essentially what you're saying to me when you ask, how do
Yeah.
you basically spam? You're 20 years too late. No one's interested in it. The conversion rates are lower and lower and lower year on year on year. What I do like when it comes to email marketing is building up a community, a following, a list. If you provide value, people will want to hear
Mhm.
what you've got to say. But that goes on to what you're saying. You don't need to ram shit down people's throat every day of the week. If you've got nothing new to share, why spam people? Like
Yeah.
that, that's kind of been my method. You want to build up a community, a following, an email list. There's money in it. Of course there is. People do like an email if you've got something good to say and all that stuff. But I think you need to do it in moderation. And also you need to build that list. There's a lot of money in email marketing if it's done properly. And,
Mhm.
after 10 plus years speaking at live events, after, having a website for like my own personal brand for 10 years, after doing SEMrush webinars, podcasts, all of the stuff that I've done over the years, I've been able to acquire a big list. And a lot of people come, how do you get that list? Can you not just buy that list off of someone? And you're like, no, sadly, that's not how it works. It's taken a lot of time and effort, man, to
So
build.
let me ask you this. So you are absolutely right. I had this conversation. I had Steve Toth. You know Steve?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, SEO Notebook is great. Matter of fact, he actually just launched a new product or new newsletter called AI Notebook. So all just focused on AI stuff. So go check that out for a little plug for Steve. He's got great stuff. Steve, I had this very conversation with Steve last week on my Hot Off the Press show. By the way, another selfish plug every Tuesday, 10 a.m. Eastern. There we go. And he was talking about, I mean, he's been doing his SEO notebook for 6 years now, right? Building this great list of that. And I was like, how are you leveraging that list? You must have, he's got thousands of people subscribing to that. And he was like, yeah, I really don't. I leverage it only like when I send out like on IRL, so he had his IRL. He's like, so I send out hey, come, I'm doing my SEO IRL. Come check it out. Come join. But beyond that, he doesn't leverage it a whole lot aside from his newsletter. He'll take a
Like,
sponsorship with that
what's
every
wrong
once in a
with it?
while. But
Yeah.
yeah,
But nah, I think what Steve does is right though. Like, obviously you've got a sponsorship,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's fine. You've got to make some money and pay for the fucking thing, the tool to send shit out. It costs money. But I don't think selling like a motherfucker is the right thing to do. Like, if
Yeah.
Steve was going to promote different tools every week, I think he would kill himself.
Mhm.
In terms of audience and reach. The fact that Steve offers value, information, and always has done. He's obviously very, very clever guy, very good with his time and trying to educate people. And he's obviously a next level geek with a lot of the
Mhm.
stuff
Mhm.
he does. And I think that's why he has the following he's got, because he's not just promoting shit and promoting shit and promoting shit. He will have his little sponsor, which I'm sure everyone will understand. And out with that, as far as it would go, he puts out, like I say, probably 95% informational content, and
Yeah. Yeah.
of course he's going to promote his uh, IRL, it's his own event and stuff like that. But again, he's still offering value there. He's bringing speakers and people to the stuff. So again, I wouldn't really call that leveraging it. In a negative sense.
Right.
He's
Right.
he's still doing good. And I think that's the right way. If anyone's going to talk about people who've built up a nice following and don't spam people to death. And I think Steve would have to be up there with the guys that do a good job, in
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
opinion. Anyway, that's
Well, I agree. And his approach is kind of what I model, what I do a little bit. I like the approach of like send it out. People expect they're going to get your email on a certain day and maybe at a certain time even. So like Steve's, I know I'm always going to get his SEO notebook.
he not
Comes every
noon on a Tuesday or some shit like that.
Yeah, every like Tuesday mornings at 10 or roughly, right around there, or 9:45 or something like that. So it's like it's always going to come. So I kind of do the same approach. I send out my email that I send one email a week, and I send it out Thursday mornings, typically like between 10 and 11 on Thursday mornings Eastern time. Boom. And that's the only time that I send an email out, unless I'm doing like a Black Friday. I don't send out emails almost any other time aside from that. So I agree. I think Steve does it right, and so I'm not trying to leverage. Every once in a while, I've done something where oh, SEO spring training, the Samuel's digital marketing conference. So because we were sponsoring that, I think I sent out a special email around that. So like, boom, here, and here's a link to go and save some money on enroll. But otherwise, I just don't do it. And that's what I'm saying. I don't know if I'm not, am I not leveraging my list hard enough? I think I would lose people if I did. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the balance has got to be there. Like, you want to remain in people's eyesights.
Yeah.
You've got to do it enough to see I'm still alive, guys. I'm still doing things and stuff like that. But I think, and again, you're probably not leveraging it commercially, but you're leveraging it for your business, and subtly keeping your brand awareness going, and all of these kind of things. And like I say, not becoming a nuisance, I think, is really, really important. I get probably 20 emails a day saying, can you push this? Can you push that? Can you promote this? Can you promote
I bet you do.
that? And I'm like, no. And they're like, why not? And I'm like, I don't know the tool. I'm not spending the time to research the tool to find out it's a pile of garbage. And what's in it for me? Like, obviously, I will promote stuff. You've got friends in the industry, or you've got people who come to you and they're like, dude, I want to promote this. And if I genuinely believe that is the current best thing to do, I don't mind doing that. In the guise of a kind of informational video. I've never been one, you have to buy this, you have to buy that, or you have to go to the news guy. The news guy's there. I use them, and you can use them, but I'm not holding a gun saying you need to use the news guy or your fucking website doesn't rank anymore. And I think that is the problem with a lot of people. That's the sort of narrative that they put out. If you don't use this, your website's going to collapse, and the next deals you need to get, or your business is going to go bust, and they're ramming all this stuff down you, and you're like, man, that is just not good. It's horrible. And and I get it. So in terms of leverage, Randy, I could leverage my stuff 100% better from a commercial standpoint if you're talking about financially, but long term, it's brand damaging. People are going to switch off from me, and maybe lose trust if anyone does trust me. I'm not making the assumption that everyone trusts me, but yeah. So I think when you're trying to do your thing, and you'll be the same. You just want to be able to sleep at night going, do you know what? No one can fucking come at me and say that I'm a bad guy. I've tried my best to help people, and I've tried my best with my service, and I believe that that's the best thing I can do. And, I work with many people in the industry from all over the world, and the last thing I want is to have people going, he fucking took me for X, Y, and Z. I've worked with guys like you for years. It's not even about, it's just, it works for both people, and I'm happy and I can sleep at night. And that's kind of my ethos with everything. Like, I just don't want to harass people, hound people, rob people, lie to people, and be rude to people. And I try and be as fair as I can. And I think when it comes to marketing, email marketing, I try and use that kind of mindset as well. I don't need to sell them everything.
Well, I think you and I are very similar. So you talk trust. I really place a high value on the trust, or what I've been trying to build as brand trust, for me. And so similar, I hope people trust. I think every time people always reorder, I'm like, I think because they trust us. But it is very meaningful for me, and I think it helps. What I would say helps set me apart from maybe others in the industry a little bit, in that I have people, I'm like, hey, come on, I'll give you a consultation, a 15-minute consultation. I don't charge for that. I just like today I'm stacked with them. And there's some people I talk to, I don't know, it seems like, every other month that want to talk to me, and that's fine. Um, but I think it's because an element like, hey, I want to go talk to this guy and I kind of trust him. And it's all part of, I think, the email marketing or emailing has got to be part of an extension of who you are and what your brand is, or what you're trying to position your brand as being, right? Something that is trustworthy, and you're not going to bullshit, and you're not going to like hard sell. That's for me anyway. Um, and I think it just kind of all has to flow together that way. There
Yeah,
has to be that synchronicity, right? That consistency.
I obviously have friends in the industry, and we talk, and they're like, "Look at this one, selling this, selling that, selling that." Like, what the fuck? The argument here is some of these people are making millions of pounds,
I know, I
millions.
know.
Um, and so, what I'd also say to anyone listening is, because we're saying all of this, again, doesn't mean it's the right fucking approach at all to to be doing that. Obviously fits our ethos and how we want to operate, but it doesn't mean it's the right way to commercially do it.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. But Rabbi Rizik is there. I know Randy
Right.
is always talking this guy up. Um,
I got Robbie on the show tomorrow.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Bloody hell, plugs everywhere. Plugs everywhere. But yeah, good to see you,
Yeah.
Rappy. Um,
Now,
and
what I don't mind doing is, so instead, I don't do it via email, but I've got Robbie's going to be on the show tomorrow, and I know he's got like a new tool that he's working on, but it's his tool, right? And I'm not out saying, hey, it's good, bad, or otherwise. I'm like, I trust Robbie. I've used some of his stuff that he's put out, and I think it's pretty good. So, I have no problem like bringing Robbie on, let him talk about his shit, throw it out there, let people make a choice. But
facts.
I'm not going to send an email out and saying, "Hey, here's Robbie's latest tool, go buy it," and I'm going to get some, kickback on it. I'm not going to do that. No offense to you, Robbie. You're a great guy. But it's just not my
I was going to say,
avenue.
Rabbi, if he's not going to do it,
Craig will
send
do
me a
it.
DM. I'll
Craig will
fucking do it. I'm only kidding. Uh, um, but
do it.
but in terms of, obviously we get it. Don't spam people to death and all that. But what tools do you use? Because I see you do, and I'm on your email list.
Yeah.
I don't really open it, to be fair.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But you probably see me as one of those. I'm just like bang
You're a
bang.
big goose egg. You're like, found, found, found. Yeah.
Um, but what are you using to send your emails out? Because this is the big talking point. There's so many like Mailchimp,
I know. I
Active
know.
Campaign, fucking
Yeah.
Kit, and everything else. There's just so many. What are you using?
Yeah. Yeah. I used to use Aweber. I used Aweber for a long time.
I used that for years ago though. Like,
Yeah. 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 But then about, I don't know, 3 years ago, maybe even a bit longer than that, I switched over to kind of a multi-tool CRM slash, whatever, called VBout. And it's kind of like a go high level type competitor, right? And so I can build funnels. It's got all my contacts. I can do all different kinds of things, pop ups, blah blah blah, everything in this thing. And so that's what I use. It sends out my emails from that. I use that. Then people come in, they sign up for one of my ebooks, whatever. I've got a funnel for them, right? In the sense of, you grab my ebook, and then I have a series of emails that I've built out to send them more stuff, more value. And then it eventually kicks them into my weekly, right? That I send out on the weekly. So, but that's what I use VBout right now. But I've used all different. I've used what Aweber. I used. I have to even go look at them. Sendio. I think I used something like that for a minute or two.
Mailshake's another one. I'm just throwing some names in there.
Yeah.
Mailshake is one I tried. I like the follow-up sequence that you could do on Mailshake back in the day. You could go in and quite easily, based on certain triggers. But most of them do that now. So
Mm,
Rabbi's saying Amazon's simple email service. Never even heard of it.
Me neither.
But Amazon's simple email service.
Like I've not used constant contact. I've not used that. There's a number of MailChimp. I have used MailChimp in the past. But
MailChimp is good. But one of the first ones I ever tried, man.
Yeah, but I've kind of have stuck on VBOT, and it's I don't know. I mean, it works for what I'm doing for the most part. I'm probably only using like 20% of it. So, but
I was trying to see the pricing on. I can't figure it out. It's got a mad pricing calculator for the Amazon one, but yeah, there's obviously lots of them out there.
yeah.
But my problem, Randy, is as I've grown, my email list has grown, but the fucking cost has went through the roof. For the mailing list, with a lot of them, when you go through certain tiers or certain
Right, yeah,
fucking price doubles,
yeah.
as well. And I have been with many. I've tried Mailshake, I've tried Mailchimp, I've tried Aweber, I've tried Constant Contact. I've tried them all. I went with Active Campaign for a number of years, but I've recently moved over to kit.com because of price and delivery.
What was it called?
Kit, KIT.com.
Kit.
Yeah. It used to be called, oh God, what were they called before?
What's that Glasgowian accent? I'm like, what are you saying? Cat? Cat? Kit? Kit?
KIT.
Kit. It.
That's what I'm saying. Kit.
It.
So it used to be called Convert Kit, and then they changed.
Yeah. Convert Kit.
I moved to them because the price is 50% less for what I'm doing. And obviously price does become a factor if you're not sending these things daily or every other day or whatever. So I looked at it, the deliverability is good, and it actually has a lot of other cool features, and it's half the price. So I went over there, and
I've never heard of this one either. He said SES. Is that the Amazon one?
That's the Amazon one, yeah.
Okay. Simple email. What is it? Service.
Yeah. I mean, if Amazon want to, I'm pretty sure they could, they know a thing or two about all of that stuff and deliverability and everything else. So I'd imagine they're probably very well equipped to blow that shit out the water compared to many others.
So Amazon pricing, they're not cheap, I don't think.
Well, I was trying to figure out the pricing, but it's saying pricing overview and calculator.
Oh, wait, it's per 1,000. So outbound emails is 10 cents per 1,000 emails. Well, that's not too bad, I guess.
Dude, that's fucking cheap.
Yeah, that's really cheap. Yeah. I mean, if you have a massive email, I mean, a lot of those things are like, like you were talking about tiers is like, MailChimp or whatever, they'll give you free for 2,500 or something like that. And then once you surpass 2,500, it's like, $50 a month or whatever it goes. I mean, you could easily rack up a couple $100 a month if you're sending out like 10, 20,000 emails.
Way more than that. Well, Active Campaign was pretty expensive for me, but Yeah, but Rabbi's saying there, um, the simple email service is not the easiest to set up, but it's cheap.
Hmm.
So that's the other thing. Guys like me who are notoriously lazy, um, I just need the fucking thing to go. Um, I don't want to set it up. Um, I just need to be able to hit go and make it go. And again, that's why I personally selected some of the ones I've done because they had nice templates and shit like that, and you
Yeah,
could,
yeah,
you know, make it go
yeah,
quickly and
I
easily.
know. Well, that's what I'm wondering. Even that's why I like my VBout as well, is because it's got, a template. I built out a template. Like, this is my standard. Like, boom, I can go in and essentially send it out, get it done, with in a few minutes. But I'm looking at this thing, this SES. There's some on there. I'm like, I don't even know what the hell that is in regards to this tenant. It's saying tenants. So, like, what does that mean? What does that mean in reference to the email tenant? Is that something with the cloud service itself? I have no idea. I'm already confused. I couldn't do it. I'd have to pay Robbie to set it up for me so I could.
Um, yeah, I'm not even going to try. Um,
Yeah, I'm lost. I need the simple. It's not so obviously Amazon is failing simple email service. It's not that simple.
that's uh, that's why guys like Rabbi and many others in the industry do very very well. They're you know Rabbi can obviously figure out how to make tools and
Yeah,
automation and all that stuff. So stuff like that's easy for you. That's my blood pressure's just doubled. The thought of that. So
yeah.
um, yeah, that's why we need guys like Rabbi to make us look smart. You pretend it was us that set it up. Yeah, dude, I've got this fucking custom setup. Look at this. Bing, bing, bing. Just don't tell anyone who set it up or
I know, exactly, exactly. All
um,
right, so I have a question for you. So I am sponsoring a conference coming up in January. Uh, should I say what it is or not?
yeah, go for it.
Uh, so it's a Joy Hawkins, local U global. All
Mhm.
right. So it's an online conference. She does. So this local U, by the way, Joy is great. I don't know if you know Joy. You should hang out with Joy. She's good. She's
I,
sharp.
I know of her. I
Yeah.
don't. I don't. I can't say if I've actually come across her or not. I forget who I've come across in real life and who I've not. But I'm well aware of who she does,
Yeah.
who she is, and what
What's
she
that?
does.
I don't know who she does.
Who she is and what she does. But I don't know if I've ever sat
Yeah.
and had a
No,
one-on-one
she's
conversation.
she's very sharp. She really is. I really appreciate her, and she's a great business person, by the way. And so this is one of the things that she has her agency, Sterling Sky, and doing very well. I mean, she's fairly big. Um, and then so as a way to expand their brand, they've started acquiring kind of other assets. One of the things that she acquired was a conference called Local U. And
Is that the one you went to with
yeah,
Holly?
yeah, yeah. Holly and I went to, so she does two events per year. One is in person and one is online. So it's like every 6 months, right? She kind of does alternates. And so Holly and I went to the one that was in person, that down in Nashville, I think it was. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then now she's doing the one in January in that's the online one. She calls that one Local U Global.
Mhm.
Um, so anyway, I'm sponsoring that. I'm one of the sponsors for that event. And so I have a question for you. What would you advise? As part of my sponsorship, I will get the list of all attendees and their email.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I don't know how many is going to attend exactly. I mean, I'm several hundred anyway.
Yep.
And what would you suggest? How could I leverage? So I'm going to get this brand new email list.
Yep.
What would you do?
I think, when you get a list like that, I've had a few like that. I'm not going to lie, and
Well, I'm sure you do. Yeah, I'm sure
uh,
every time you go, you probably can grab the list if you want, right?
I tend not to. To be fair, I used to do a lot of that wheeling and dealing, and you do this, and I'll promote that, and we'll give you the list and all that shit.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it happens, but I think you have to be very, very careful. People get pissed off very quickly if they think that list's been sold off or traded off or whatever you want to call that. So initially when you send something out, unless it's kind of very soft and subtle, you're going to get a lot of dings on your list there, and that let's say 300 is going to go to 100 because you stupidly went in like Billy Big Bollocks trying to, uh, you know, flog your shit or whatever it may be. It could just be something very subtle like, hey guys, met you out there, blah, 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 blah. I was one of the sponsors, I do, my free calls or whatever, grab 15 minutes with me. Here's the link. I think that's a lot more subtle. You're still trying to be helpful and offer value up front. And then from there, people can either drop out or, uh, get into the flow. So shit like that, I would always segment out. I would, like anything, there's different levels of the funnel, if you want to call it, and that's
right,
very, very introductory, top of the funnel garbage, just to see if the motherfuckers will stick. Because you're basically sending an email going, "Hey guys,
right,
don't fucking delete me. I'm just here.
right, right, right. Yeah,
I'm an interesting guy." And obviously, you want to be a lot more creative than just saying that, but that's what I used to do, and even just follow up with catch you at the next conference or whatever, some crap like that, and then from there, obviously, the more if they engage with videos or if they engage with
mhm,
informational content, they go into that bucket, and
yeah,
you you work your way down the funnel, so to speak. So that's kind of common sense to me. I like I say have acquired lists like that, and people have literally replied like, "How the fuck did you get in my? How the fuck did you get my email and all that stuff? You fucking bastard! I knew so and so was selling this and uh, you know all of this stuff." And then obviously the person you've done the deal with.
now, before I do have to say it, aren't you somewhat shocked sometimes how like aggressive people respond to like, dude, it's just an email. God,
Yeah,
come on.
yeah. I know they fucking. I've had all sorts, people coming hard. I fucking always hated you, you bastard. And you're like, oh, fucking, I deleted, I deleted you from this. I'm sure I fucking unsubscribed from this ages ago. You better fucking do this and that. And you're like, dude, fuck off. So yeah, they feel like rather than just delete, move on, they
Yeah,
feel the need to chuck in insults galore.
yeah.
So
Well, my thought was very similar to what you even kind of described. I just thought maybe I would send out a very like, hey, I was a sponsor at the local, U Global. I was great. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I, blah, blah, blah kind of thing. Hey, we do just like a quick sentence of like, this is what we do. I've got some free stuff I'd love to share with you if you're interested, and give them like a couple of links to my different ebooks that we have put out. And then as well say, hey, if you like to chat, here's my book a free consult.
well,
And then
what I liked, Randy,
similar, and then beyond that, I wasn't gonna like, hey, here's an offer for you. I wasn't gonna do anything like that. Just like, hey, if you want to grab some stuff, here it is. I hope to see you again, right?
see,
Meet you again.
see if you could give a free asset away. Like I think creating an asset that you can give away for free to
Right.
nurture a very cold audience is good. Like a free
Yeah.
course or a free ebook or whatever it may be.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. You've given something for nothing. You're not
Right.
on the beg, as I would call it. Everyone else is out there begging, give me this, give me that, buy this, buy that. It's beg,
Right.
beg, 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 beg. You are saying, thanks, I was a sponsor. Here's a free
Yeah.
gift that I think you might find useful given, you're in the same circles. Whatever. Here's some of my other stuff.
Yeah.
And like I say, you could even slip in the free call as well, just a free,
Right. Right.
if you want to catch up, chat about things, come and
Yeah.
I might have not met you at the conference, but I do free 15-minute
Right.
calls if you want to catch up, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what that was kind of my approach, or thinking of my approach anyway. And then, if they, if they grab, one of my ebooks, obviously, then they're going to, start getting nurtured and going through, our email series, and then I'll hang on to them or until they opt out. But yeah, that was kind of my approach that I was going to do.
Oh man, I've just had a message there. I'll not even tell you what it is. You don't even want to. Absolutely nothing to do with email marketing, but I'll tell you what it is. I messaged a guy who I got my car from, the salesman who I got my car from, and I'm like, dude, what was the fucking name of the shit you cleaned my car with? Like, magnificent, magnificent fucking smell. Even my wife got in the other day and she's like, man, this is fucking lovely. Like, what sort of air? It's not like your usual air fresheners where, your eyes are watering and it's fucking,
Yeah, it's all pungent, right?
yeah. And I messaged him and he's literally just fucking sent me a link to a certain type of aftershave. And I'm like, you motherfucker, man. He's in there cleaning cars and then spraying it with fucking aftershave. I can't believe I fucking asked him, what was that fucking cleaning material that you used for my car? It's really good. So yeah, I'm just
That's
laughing now.
funny.
I just feel like a plonker with this guy. I'm just like, Craig, what the fuck is wrong with you? Imagine,
Maybe it's just his aftershave, and it's just like wafting off of him.
oh, dude, because after you get in the car multiple times, it's still there, man. It's like one of those aftershaves that it does not disappear that quickly. Like,
Yeah.
it fucking hangs on. So I found a new car
I
after.
wonder what he does. Wonder if he sprays it on the carpet, or
I'm going to ask him. I don't give a fuck.
yeah, I wonder if he does it on the carpet or puts it under a mat, like a floor mat, so that it sticks or something. I don't wonder what the hell he does.
Yeah, I need to figure that part out, man, because it's not going to smell the same when I do it. It's either that, or I'm going to go down there every fucking week on a Monday and say, mate, you're going to fucking spray this car up. Spray it the way you spray it. But, nah,
Yeah, let me know. I wanna know that one as well. That would be
yeah,
good.
that's that's what happens in my life. Just and that's the questions I ask people. How does my car smell so good, mate?
Yeah.
Um,
That's funny.
but
That is funny.
anyway,
Well,
back on to the topic in question. I don't even know where we're at, but
email marketing. So it's good. So that's good. So you kind of, confirmed, what I was thinking of doing with my kind of, acquired conference email, list that I'll get. So that'll be good.
bloody hell.
Mm.
Uh,
I will probably later. They're going to give me a link to, help promote the concert, or conference. So as soon as I get that link, I'll get a little discount link for folks as well. They can. I think they're offering. I don't remember what. Something. Anyway, I'll have a link and a code you guys can use if, folks are interested, want to join, jump onto this thing. I don't think it's very much anyway. I think, it's like just a 1 day thing, and yeah.
yeah, but no, that's obviously good. Um, a good thing to
Mm.
be doing. You know, especially, you know, sponsoring it, you're going to get the exposure and everything else. But I think there's a lot of money or a lot of value in just doing things like that to build that list up as well. Industry relevant people,
Yeah. Yeah.
man, it's so easy. And then obviously you can work it from there on in and do
Mm.
whatever you think's right in
Mm.
terms of that soft approach. Um,
Now, let me ask you this. Not to say that I would do this, but would you ever take a list like that and load it into, say, Facebook and say, here's a lookalike audience, or target this audience for ads, for Facebook ads?
have I done that before? Absolutely, yeah. You know, I think again, just trying to be a little bit more creative. Do you need to cold spam someone, or can you retarget someone by uploading that list and
Right.
showing them your ads? And the best way to say this is, Randy, you've probably had guys in your life or women you've come across, and they're just stubborn bastards, right? They're stubborn
Yeah, yeah,
bastards,
yeah,
and things need to seem like they're their idea before they're convinced to do shit. And I think email marketing is the same. If you can lay this on them through retargeting or whatever it may be, uh, it's their idea. They've came to you,
yeah.
they've eaten it up at that point. And sometimes, like I say, everyone's different, but there's a lot of people where it needs to be their idea. And I
Yeah.
think if you said to me, Craig, here's an email list of 5,000 people, go fucking, what would be your go-to first thing you can do to put them in with your list? It would be that. Upload them, retarget, and see what we can pick up from there. And then at the end, after I've done all of that, then sure, do the fucking spam. And you know, the fucking people can drop off at that point. I don't give a fuck. I'm
Yeah,
trying to squeeze as many
yeah,
people as
yeah,
I can out of that 5,000 onto my list, and I will utilize stuff like that before I would just do a cold email.
yeah, yeah. I think it's an interesting application of using a list like that, right? So you're kind of exactly going around another avenue to try to get in front of them instead of the hard, like, let me spam you, let me throw you some cold email shit or something, or a hard sell. I'm like, hey, but now I've got your info. You're going to be on this platform. Let me serve up some ads to you. Let me just get in front of your face a little bit. So, yeah,
Yeah, it's just understanding how technology works, and if you can get them on without spamming them, you're you're doing a lot better, man, than most. So
yeah,
that's kind of how I see it. I would be like, nah, that's the way I want to do this, and get
yeah.
them on board.
Yeah. Now, I know you have got several different businesses. Some is kind of some e-com. Uh, on your e-com versus, like, you don't send out. I don't even remember the last time I've gotten an email from you, like through, like, Craig Campbell SEO kind of thing. I when do you think? Seriously, I've not gotten an email. I can't even remember the last time. I mean, it's a year plus, probably.
It's not been that long, but yeah, like I said, I do not spam people to death, but obviously, uh, obviously through uh, the last 5 6 months, obviously ill health, holidays, traveling a lot for conferences,
Right,
my email's not really been the focus of my
right,
attention.
right.
So I've not done as much as I should have. That is going to change, and I will be putting out a lot more content and stuff like that, and more from an informational standpoint, but
Mm,
not you know,
mhm,
overly
mhm.
aggressive. And you know,
Yeah,
it's something I have not taking my eye off the ball. At the start of the year, dude, I was in fucking every country for the first 3, 4, 5 months of the year, traveling the world. So trying to do it and spend the time on it, because the big thing for me, and again, you talk about Steve Toth, he consistently, clearly sits on a Friday, for example, and plans out, I'm going to write this shit over the weekend,
Right.
whatever it is he's doing, and it's just relentless, consistent, boom, 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 boom. And I've just not had the time to do it. And it's not one of those things that I've ever had any success in outsourcing. When it's an email and they say something that maybe isn't what you meant, or the tone that you want to operate in and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I don't really trust anyone with it. So
I don't either. I on the email stuff, I do that all myself as well. I don't mind that. And I know with Steve, as an example, he does his as well. He writes his and this is why guys like that, you've got to give them respect, right? I mean, this is a guy for 6 years, every week, a new email. I mean, that is like serious. That's discipline. That is just hammering it, just working.
yeah, it's not easy. It is a lot of hard work and consistency, but fair play if you can sit and do it. But that's the right thing to do.
It is.
Absolutely
Yeah.
the right thing to do.
Mm.
So it's
So back to my original question I was going to throw at you, which was, so your personal brand, it's kind of like haphazard. I'll just say that. But on your e-com stuff, on the brands that you have or that you own, how is that different? Are you very consistent on on those platforms or on those particular business models? Are you sending out like, every week, every 3 times a week we're sending out something, certainly around a holiday, I know you're probably sending out more?
yeah. So we the best way to describe this is there's certain times of the year with one of the e-com stores that works better than others. So we're slightly more aggressive at certain times a year,
Mm,
on a weekly
mm,
basis. We try and send out at least one a week, um, every week. Again, just to remind people, or maybe a discount code, or we may even just do it to people
right.
who didn't um, didn't confirm their basket and stuff like that. And maybe give them a 5% off or whatever, just to get those baskets emptied, so to speak. Now, what we find from an ecom perspective, if we don't send that email out, it's worth our revenue is down by X amount of £1,000. So we know really what happens, or the value of what we send out. We know that that's worth an extra, I'm not going to say figures, but let's say 5 grand. We know that that's worth another 5 grand a week by just
Right.
putting that email out. So it's definitely something that we're a lot more consistent on. And I think it has to happen from an ecom. The argument from my personal brand's perspective is, what the fuck do you want me to put out? I don't want to sell stuff to everyone. I don't want to be that guy. So I don't want to be consistently selling. And obviously, what I do need to do is be consistently putting out information and stuff like that. But like I say,
Right.
it's not going to make a huge difference to my income whether Craig Campbell sends an email out or not. It's going to make a difference to the income from the e-com stores and stuff like that. So it will impact me. Does it make a huge difference to my life whether people read my emails or not? From a Craig Campbell perspective, not really, because I don't really do that amount of affiliate marketing. They're taking up my attention. But it's easier for me to be consistent with live streams or videos, or
Right.
stuff like that, or being consistent, because a lot of people don't realize I do the multiple mastermind calls a week, which are not public, that they're private.
Mhm.
I'm consistent with that. I'm consistently putting information out. I'm consistently engaging with people. But I don't want to fucking just put that out in an email as well. Like, what's the point? I could, I could basically transcribe what we said in the mastermind and shell that out into the email list. But again, you run out of fucking shit to say, and you get sick of talking.
Right.
So, from a Craig Campbell perspective, that's why I've been slacker with it. But obviously, as a marketing person giving advice, I'd be saying, you fucking motherfucker, like, you should be doing something with that. And of course, from an ecom perspective, I would kill myself if I didn't do it. I would absolutely beat myself up and say,
Mhm.
you fucking idiot, this cost you X, Y, and Z. The biggest problem I have is for Craig Campbell, it doesn't necessarily equate to money. And
Right.
that's the thing. So absolutely, mate, at least one a week. But at certain periods, like I say, peak seasons, there's, like every business,
Right.
what
Yeah,
it is. It's like Black Friday, Randy, for us, as
I know. Yeah,
you're fucking sending stuff out daily there. Bang, bang, bang. You're taking every fuck. You're sitting there going, shit, can I send another one, or am I? Or
I
am
know.
I
I know.
so it's a bit like that, with one of the e-com stores. There's 3 or 4 really big peak times of the year where things blow up for us, and we are a lot more aggressive on that.
Mhm, mhm.
Multiple per week, and try to be creative
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah, yeah. It is funny though. You mentioned Black Friday, and I have an idea for next week's show. So I'm going to tease it here. Is service pricing or pricing, and then as well, how do you use discounts? So so if you were, well, I say service pricing, so like if you're an agency or even like me, right? So how do you position your pricing in the marketplace as a whole compared to others? And then how do you use discounts? I think that's a good discussion we can have next week. All right.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned Black Friday. So, and with emails around Black Friday and that, I have a couple of different thoughts. One, I have a campaign that I usually do for Black Friday, and I always think, oh man, am I sending too much? But then the other thing though is I know there are people that are like me. I kind of look forward to the Black Friday thing because I'm wondering what the hell the deals are, right? So I'm looking for. I'm like, what is going to be the deal? I want to look at. Like I like looking at the deals. I like getting a deal.
Yeah.
So I don't mind that Black Friday bombardment because I don't know, it gets me excited a little bit.
I think everyone does, right? It's that one time a year where
Yeah,
there's there's perceived
yeah,
discounts, whether they are
yeah.
discounts or not. They're
I
not
know.
always, but I think all of us like a bargain. So
Yeah.
um, it's playing into those hands. But we do have one question, Randy, just for Yusuf there. How do you avoid your landing your emails in spam? Like, what's your advice on that?
Well, so it depends if you're like with me, and I'll just say so for my emails that I send out, they go out through my branded domain. I've done the whole DMARC and the D whatever the hell the other thing is, right? So I've got them all validated, with my domain to ensure that they're not, going to show up as being spammy. Um, and I think that's, you know, those are the steps that I have taken, and trying not to get into the spam. And then the other thing is, um, uh, it's kind of back to that. I don't do a lot of cold email marketing or any. So, my domain that I'm sending out emails on is very clean from that standpoint. And I'm somewhat kind of protective of it because of that. Um,
Dude, I had a guy and he was asking for my email address yesterday or over the weekend, and I said I gave him my email.
Dude, what did you do? Am I still on the show? All of a sudden, Craig is off. It can't be. Even though it still says live, but I don't what happened to Craig? I am on. I'm looking over on YouTube, so I'm still on, even though Craig is vacated. I don't know what happened to him. I guess maybe he was on a curfew and that was it. He was like, okay, you're done. So now I have no idea. But anyway, so Yusef, so you're still. Hopefully, I answered that a little bit. So I think if you're going to have a consistent on if you're going to have a consistent like what we've been talking about, if you have a brand or an e-com store or something like that, and you're going to just get into doing a consistent email campaign, obviously, do it from your domain. Be very clear. Put your SPF file, whatever that the DNS record is, the DMARC record as well in your DNS. Get it registered. Be sure your outgoing platform is you've got that registered on that outgoing platform as well, so that you can really essentially validate your domain that you're sending the email out through. Like, don't use a Gmail. I think sending emails out through a Gmail are going to get more into spam than they are landing in actual people's inbox. So I know a lot of people have been thinking, well, if you get the Google Workspace email, can be more effective. I don't know. I've not tried that, so I really can't speak to whether that's effective or not. I do know people talk about that and as a means of trying to have a better result with that. So, yeah. And then, the other issue, I think, just watch how you're sending stuff out. You want to keep your bounce numbers, fairly low. That's why, if you have like a new email list that really isn't associated to you, don't use your protected domain kind of thing that you've been nurturing and try to have a good clean email on. Use some other email. If you're going to do that, have them opt into something that's on your more protected email address or domain address. So that's where I'd go. I'm not the expert in this email marketing piece at all. So, that's why I kind of like to have the discussion on it a little bit, kind of getting into it. Yeah, Craig just sends me a thing. It's kicked me off. I can't get back on. I wonder how you'll shut it down, because this thing just going to keep going. Well, we've done our hour, so Craig can't get back on. I don't know how he's going to shut it down. I guess maybe I shut it down at some point. And then somebody's asking, do you recommend any services to, and I can't even control to put the chat on there. That's funny. The question, yeah, like Craig is chatting because he can't even get on. That is funny. So Social Buzz Me. Do I recommend any services to warm up an email address? I really can't, because I'm just not well versed in it. I wish Craig was on, because I know, he probably could rattle off a number of these things. I have to look and see. I've got a lot of this stuff. I have sometimes. Let me see here. I know there's services out there that guys that do that stuff, but I really can't. Man, I don't have a good response for you, man. I'm sorry. I don't. Social Buzz, dude. Yeah. Poor Craig, it's kicked me. He can't get back on. All right, so I'm going to close this out though, Craig. So there you go. I just so think about this. This is like Craig is like digitally like locked himself out of the house. Basically, is what he's done. Like I can't get back in. Let me in. Funny, funny as hell. Um, so next week, hey, if you're running an agency or running an e-com or doing something like um, uh, join us. Craig and I, we're going to talk about pricing, how you price your service, and as well, how do you use discounts? I think it could be kind of interesting. And then also, if you guys want to join me on my show on Tuesdays, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, I do a show called Hot Off the Press. I have different folks come on every week. Tomorrow, I've got Robbie Rizik on. It's going to be great. We're going to review some of the stuff he's doing. He's doing some great projects, AI generated videos. He's doing a whole new project right now. I think it's kind of cool. So we're going to explore that. So join me tomorrow with Robbie on Hot Off the Press. Beyond that, sorry, Craig. Thanks for having us on. Sorry you can't get back in. Everybody else, we'll see you next week. And thank you. All right. Have a great week.